Brother Maynard, bring up the holy hand grenade. 1, 2, 5.
Please, sir.
3.
Arm yourselves, America. This is Defenders Live.
It's Monday. Defenders Live, Mojo 50 Radio. I have with me tonight the one, the only. You're going to take him by the numbers, but that's all right. It's Andrew Coppins, everybody. Andrew Coppins with me tonight. What's up?
What up?
Whoa.
My brother from another state?
Yeah. Wow, that was the whitest thing I've ever heard. Ever. Ever. Just
You're
joking.
welcome.
Just joking, because I'm definitely just as white. All right. So we have a ton of stories to go over, but before we get to there, make sure everybody understands where they can find you.
Well, they can find me on the weekends here on Mojo 50 Radio, 5 p.m. Central Time on Saturdays. Of course, you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at The Coppins Show, and then criticalthinking.locals.com. That is the exclusive home of some of my content that is in between the shows, breaking down specific topics and going a little more in-depth for those that want to go that route.
So you go deep.
Yes.
Okay.
Some might say, never mind.
I'm going to let that bell go. Yeah, it's fine. The bell goes there. That's all it is. You can find us, DOAE Show, DOAEshow.com. Defenders Live is what we are and who we are. We are your friendly neighborhood dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire!
That's right. You can also find us on Mojo50, Mojo50.com, or the iHeartRadio, where you can go to the iHeartRadio app. You click the Mojo50 Radio button. You'll find my show right here, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. Andrew Coppins, Critical Thinking. On the weekends, by the way, there's a lot of weird stuff going on about the weekend shows. What is this? What is all this crap going on?
I wish I knew.
My show got hacked last week.
Yeah, I saw that. That was really weird.
Like,
then
what is that? And then
yeah.
There's another thing got posted on the Facebook. Like, now the Facebook feed is hacked.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if it's like Matt Holloway playing an evil joke, or him trying to just wiggle his way into a Daily Show or something, or
I mean, if he was
or even
try...
worse, the Bells of Liberty.
Oh, that's true. But I mean, if he was trying to wriggle his way into a Daily Show, he'd have just tried to be my co-host for for those past 3 months. He'd have done that. I mean, so
true,
so
but at the same point in time, he likes the mischief, if you will. So
he is the mischief.
I don't know what's going on. I have no knowledge. I disavow any knowledge of what is going on. But I will say this.
Uh-huh.
If we're going to demand things,
right,
I want that Daily Show. Just saying.
Well, yeah, and I get you. I understand that. And you know what? There are people out there that would say you deserve that Daily Show.
Well, those people would be kind individuals. And maybe they should put some pressure on one Ron Phillips, maybe a little Brad Staggs.
Maybe
at real Ron Phillips, at real Brad Staggs, if you will.
Yeah, because, the Ron Phillips, that man, he loves so little pressure in the right places. And Brad, well, yeah, it's true. And Brad, well, $20 is $20, so.
Especially if he's downtown.
That's true. That is very true. All right, so we have a couple stories to get with, and I want to talk to you guys about. So Andrew brought one up to us, talking about kids in public school and workshops and all the rest of it. Tell me about this. What's going on here?
So yeah, if you thought that homeschooling your kids this whole entire time was going to, keep the woke warriors at bay,
Yeah.
you'd be wrong.
Really?
We have Katie Sedgwick, Kadia Sedgwick,
Kadia?
over at the Federalist, telling us about how her kids were brought into a workshop via Zoom by the local Oakland Soul Shop Educational Consulting Group.
Can I stop you right there? Just hold on. Local Oakland, as in like California.
Yes.
Well, they know how to party.
Yeah, that is true.
California knows how to party.
Yeah. What about Watts?
It's true. It's true. Anyway, continue on.
But yeah, so apparently 300 families were involved in this, and it was built as a way to share your emotional balloon, and that should have been your first clue as a parent that this is not going to go well. And that we all have feelings about racism, protest, and the violence that are occurring in the world at the moment. So I would get this workshop if it was actually just about releasing all of those feelings and thoughts that your children are having about this, because it can be a very, very confusing time for younger kids. Let's be 100% honest about that.
Yeah, I mean, it is very confusing for kids right now in this day and age. They don't know what they're doing. Most of them are just playing video games.
Yeah, but there's just a problem with this workshop, though. It turned into not just allowing people to, kind of say what they were feeling or thinking or questions that they may have had or whatever. It turned into a big old indoctrination fest of, this is how you have to believe. This is what you need to believe.
No. See, we can't. No. The moment that somebody tries to push in any idea of how somebody should think without giving the understanding of why, the reality of why, just how you should think and what you should think about, there's a big issue there. It's a pretty big of a problem there. It's not
Just a smidge.
It's not good.
No,
it's not good. That's indoctrination. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, just take this little bit here. Children were asked if they know how to protest, and one boy volunteered a ditty that he's been practicing. No justice, no peace. No racist police.
He'd been practicing
that.
So you continue. Sorry.
He's learning this at home, brings it to the Zoom.
Yeah.
Rather than being corrected for, hang on, that might be how you believe, but there's another side to this.
Yeah.
They just let that continue.
Yeah, they just praised it. They're like, oh, good, that's great. Yeah. Great. Good job, Timmy.
Yep. And, of course, there's misinformation about the George Floyd situation. There's misinformation about the riots and all the stuff that's been going on. And it was unchecked by the leaders of this group. And it shouldn't surprise you, because it is a radical group. Soul Shop. SHOPPE. Because, got to be hip.
Because you can't spell to be real.
Right. Something like that. But yeah, so it's very clear. There was even Black Panther fists in the air. They were teaching them how to do those types of things.
Talking about like that thing?
Yeah. Yep. Not this, but this. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a little bit disconcerting. Just a hair. But yeah, I do want to say, Southern Jackhole over on the Twitter, or excuse me, Southern Ohio Jackhole on the Twitter. This workshop sounds like a gateway drug for communism, so I assumed it was funded by the state of California.
You would be right, because guess what? It is funded by the Oakland School Board, which is funded by the taxpayers of California.
So
congratulations.
Good job. Wow. Look at you. Smart man, Southern Ohio Jackhole. Right on point. That's crazy.
Well, at least one of us is.
I know. I'm definitely off kilter here, but that's fine. So, all right. California who we've established knows how to party, is paying for communism to be spread. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. I forgot to. Did you know that one of the founders of Black Lives Matter came out and said that the entire thing is a communist front specifically designed to oust our current president?
Yes, I did. In fact, I talked about this on the show on Saturday. So
isn't that funny how that works?
Yeah, it's almost like you should probably listen to what they're telling you. They believe, and then take them seriously.
Yeah, it's you don't have to with any sort of any person that opposes you, if they say something and then they act on that same thing that they said, you should trust that what they said is something that they believe.
Yeah, it's almost like they've been planning this revolution for 6 years now.
Oh, it's almost like that. It's kind of silly. But, I got to ask you a question, because Black Lives Matter, right?
Yes.
You live where?
Chicago.
Oh. What's happened in Chicago recently?
I don't know what you speak of.
Well, I mean, Black Lives Matter, right?
Yes, they do.
So how many shootings have happened in Chicago recently?
Well, just this weekend, only 106 people.
106 people have been shot.
And only 14 of those killed.
Only 14 killed. See, that's a record. That's a record low.
You would be wrong.
That's a record low.
Yeah, closer to the truth. Because the last weekend in May, the first weekend of the protests here in Chicago, the rioting, all of that, saw 20 people killed in one weekend. Father's Day weekend.
Yay,
Nothing
Father's
says,
Day weekend.
Yay, fathers. Like,
Yay.
bang, 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 all over the
well,
city.
Nothing says fathers like a bunch of bastard children running around shooting people.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Nothing says Father's Day like a bunch of bastard kids going around shooting people. And yes, I literally mean bastard.
Yep, that's a literal term in the city of Chicago.
Bastard sired children that have no idea, don't care, don't want to care, and just want to shoot some folks.
Yep.
So let me ask you, okay, all right, so Black Lives Matter. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How many? What's the percentage of people that die because of gunshots in Chicago?
91%.
91%.
91% of all homicides in this city come via gunshot.
Okay, and
of that 91%,
yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah,
74, or well, if we were doing a rounding up, it's 75% of all gunshot victims. Are black.
So
another 17.5% Hispanic.
Right. So 3/4.
Yep.
3/4 of the people that die via gunshot in Chicago are black. But Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, I'm confused too.
And there were how many shootings happened in Chicago over Father's Day weekend?
106 people were shot.
Okay.
That could be multiple shootings.
But 106 people. Okay. So 106 people shot. On average, that's 80 folks that are black.
Yeah, you would be correct.
That's average, right? That's the average.
Yep.
80 of them, at least 80 of them are going to be black. And we had, and how many died? 14, you said?
Yeah, 14, and it's pretty much a guarantee that 95% of those are probably black. And it gets worse.
Okay. Continue then. What is it with that?
Because there were multiple people under the age of 10 that are inside that 106.
Okay, under the age of 10. All right, they could have been walking out in the street. But you're saying that they were in their house, which means that it was a drive-by shooting.
No, just outside. It's absolutely incredible. I mean, you're seeing drive-by shootings. You're seeing shootings here amongst gatherings outside at parties or whatever's happening. It is just insane.
Right.
And the worst part for me is that this movement, because it's multiple organizations focused on liberation theology, focused on a lot of very radical things that are fronting this movement.
Correct.
They don't care about Black lives.
Yes, you are correct.
They care about their politics. Because if Black lives mattered, they would be in their communities stopping this violence.
Right.
They'd be in the South Side, on the West Side of Chicago, stopping the riots, the looting. That had nothing to do with George Floyd.
But you know, the South Side of Chicago, there's a man named Leroy Brown.
He's a bad, bad man.
He is bad. Bad Leroy Brown. He's the baddest man in the whole damn town, though. But anyway, people like Sean King, per se. Sean King, who is kind of white.
Like almost 100% white?
Yeah, like kind of white.
Yeah.
Sean King, Black Lives Matter activist, kind of white. Pushing another narrative that statues of Jesus Christ should be torn down. But just the white ones.
Right? Which I get. Well, I get that there are white depictions of Jesus, but if we're being historically accurate here, Jesus was not white. Anybody who thinks that Jesus was actually Caucasian
doesn't understand genetics.
Paying attention to history.
You don't understand genetics.
No, impossible. He
Sorry.
had a very olive complexion to him.
Yeah. That
might
middle
have had
brown,
very blackish hair.
Yeah, middle brown toned skin. Yeah.
He didn't look like you and I.
No. Now, actually, I do kind of look like that when I go out in the sun for a long period of time. But I digress.
When do you do that?
Not a lot anymore. I used to a lot, but not a lot anymore. It's sad. Now I stay inside all the time. But that's okay, because I get to have fun doing this. No. So Black Lives Matter activist Sean King said that it is permissible to tear down the statue of Jesus Christ that show him in European features because of white supremacy.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Jesus Christ was not about white supremacy or supremacy of any kind.
Right. But he's saying that they changed his shape, his face shape, and how he looked, and his features because they wanted white supremacy. They wanted a white Jesus.
Here, in the back, over here, in the corner.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Andrew Coppins, Mojo 50. Yeah.
Yeah. Real quick. If Sean King knew what Jesus looked like, where's the picture?
Oh, well, he's going off of the same picture that was drawn by that 7-year-old child prodigy. Yeah.
Because if he had the actual image of Jesus Christ, like the actual one, I think that would kind of be historically significant, no?
It would be very significant. Incredibly significant.
Now, I'm not disputing that, the depiction of him as a Caucasian is wrong, because that is true.
Yes, you are correct in saying that. The depiction of you as black, as Sean King, the depiction of you as black is also wrong.
Exactly. And it would be really easy to, kind of give him a different complexion with this thing called paint.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah,
paint.
And I'm all for historical accuracy. That's kind of my jam.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Things, but...
Yeah, you're about numbers and accuracy, especially historical.
Yes.
Once again, Southern Jackhole over on the Twitters. Jesus is white like Elizabeth Warren is Native American.
Well, Jesus might have actually been more white than she is Native American, but...
Well... I don't know. Not so much. Oh gosh, that's good. Peekapoo the Snarking Jackal over on the Twitter. If they're teaching the Black Panther fist, Shouldn't they accompany it with the chant of Wakanda Forever? Yes. Yes, they should. Yes, they should.
If we're speaking of this whole entire idea, wouldn't Black Panther actually be racist?
Yes.
Why does the Panther have to be black?
Well, it's a black
And why
suited
does the
panther.
black person have to be depicted as a panther?
Isn't technically Black Panther just saying the same thing twice? Panthers are naturally black, so why do you have to point out that it's black?
Yeah, shouldn't it just be panther?
Right. Shouldn't it just be the Panther? The Panther. Why is that to be Black Panther?
Because it's more descriptive.
No, not really.
Anywho.
I'm kind of parched. I'm going to have a sip of this coffee right here. This is a very good coffee. Yeah.
Would you say it's
do you
historically great?
It is historically great. Have you had coffee?
Yes, I have.
I drink coffee all day long. I don't know about you, but
No.
I'm a fan of the coffees, so I have it all day long. Specifically, I'm a fan of American Pride Roasters coffee. American Pride Roasters is historically great coffee. This is the Burr Hamilton in my cup, so I do have the blueberry donut hole coffee. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
We partaked in the Austin's Fat Tuesday King Cake blend this weekend.
Did you
at my house?
Did you make sure to find the baby Jesus?
No.
No?
No.
Don't blend up the baby Jesus.
It was still from the advent calendar of coffee that I got my wife for Christmas.
Still, make sure that when you find that you make sure you look for the baby Jesus and don't blend him.
Well, yeah, nobody wants that.
No, nobody wants a taste of baby Jesus. That's not good.
Oh.
Infanticide is never
little
good.
baby
Tell that to
Jesus.
Planned Parenthood. But American Pride Roasters is amazing. Yeah.
Go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Get yourself some of that Burr Hamilton, and I believe if you're still doing the Ronald Reagan, you can get 50% off of a pound of the Washington.
It is. Currently, right now, you can get 50% off the pound of Washington. It's amazing. You should check it out. Go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com. That's AmericanPrideRoasters.com. James, a.k.a. James, on the Twitters. The live studio audience so steals the show during DOA's show. I know, all right? I like making jokes that my wife can laugh to. That makes it better.
At least it's an audience of one.
It's an audience of at least one. You never know who else is here.
Better than none.
Yes, that's exactly right. Better than none. I have at least one person in the audience right now, especially because
some would say that she's obliged to have to be in the audience.
Oh, not really. She can go to the other room.
Yeah, I dare you to tell her that.
I did just now. She could go to the other room if she didn't want to watch the show. That's fine. I didn't find. It'd be all right. I won't be hurt. It'd be okay.
Speaking as a fellow married man, that was dangerous territory.
Well, I tread it lightly. Let's put it that way. I tread the territory very lightly. So, Chaz is now a war zone?
Who would have guessed that?
You know, you take away the police, you take away all emergencies, you start acting like a mob and a mafia, and then, you know, you start shooting people.
Oh, you forgot the massive amount of alcohol.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot about
the
that.
hardcore drugs.
Oh, the hardcore drugs.
Yeah, you know, like
how'd they get it? How'd they get
and-
that? They're not even in America anymore. How'd they get that?
Well, with the $10 that they gave to the black people, who then, yeah, did you see that video?
Gave a guy $10?
Yeah, so there's a video of a organizer in Chaz Shop, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, it's Chaz. It's going to stay Chaz forever.
Sounds good. In Chaz, telling people, the white people inside Chaz, that you must give $10 to a black person by the end of your time there.
Or else.
If you don't, you're guilty of white privilege.
Oh. Using the guilt card.
Of $10 in the hand of a black person is going to do what?
I don't know.
Or any person.
I don't know. But we'll be right back right after this. Honestly, $10.
Yeah.
$10.
You gotta see the video.
Oh,
Have
gosh.
you seen it?
No, I haven't. I didn't even know. I had no idea. 10.
Yeah,
really?
there's a. Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
Oh God, that's so stupid. Jen Butler over on the Facebook. Nothing to make you think clearer and act responsibly like strong drink and narcotics. Well, if you take them at the same time, technically they'll level you out.
They will level you.
Yeah, what I'm saying, like, okay, you take an upper, you take a downer. You take an upper, you take a downer. You take an upper, you take a downer. You just keep going. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down.
I touched up the football.
I can see it happening. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. No, neither. No, neither. Sorry, talking to the studio audience again. It's never a good idea.
Oh, it's all gravy.
I'll get to that in a second. That's funny. Check on that. Steal the show. Yeah. Okay. All right. We got like 20 seconds. Nah. 7 seconds.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
All right, welcome back. This is Defenders Live, DOAShow.com, DOAShow.com. Make sure you go to our website, find all of the wonderful things, kind of like this mug, but not really like this mug, because this mug was given to me as a gift, and I had to use one of my decaled logos to cover up what it originally was, because, well, I want to drink out of it, but I don't want to be shameful and ashamed of drinking out of it. So instead, I put my logo over top. If you'd like to get a couple decals, you can do that over on DOAShow.com. Go to the shop over there. You can also get any of our shirts, hats, neck gaiter things. We are also the home of the Jackhole Nation gear. All the Jackhole Nation gear is there and available over on DOAShow.com. Oh, almost forgot. I almost forgot. Glad I remembered. Over there on the website, if you go check it out right now, there's a button in the menu bar, and it's for a giveaway. That's right, folks. We're giving something away at the end of this month. At the end of this month, we are going to have our very own Pastor Carey draw a name to reveal who gets to have Watson's Ding-a-ling.
Nobody wants Watson's Ding-a-ling.
Apparently, a lot of people do. Look. Watson's been he's
been a little perturbed lately.
He's neglected his ding-a-ling, okay? He's put it up on a shelf. He's left it alone. He hasn't touched it. He hasn't played with it. He hasn't polished it. He hasn't rubbed it. He's done none of these things.
It's almost like you're describing somebody who's married with kids.
Oh, I am.
Oh, I'll talk about Watson.
Yeah, exactly. He's married with kids. Remember, Watson's white. Chocolate caramel. Anyway, it's another bad joke. Oh, gosh.
Terrible joke.
So terrible.
Terrible.
We're trying to help a brother out, honestly.
Yeah, he needs to have his ding-a-ling played with.
He does. You have to... a man has to play with his ding-a-ling. You know, if he has one, he has to play with it. And it's just one of those things. You know, if you don't, it gets
I'm just
dusty.
picturing him like, cat with a little string.
Yeah, a cat with a string, pawing at it a little back and forth. And paddling. I just got to say,
Yeah.
help us help Watson, okay?
Mhm.
Help us help Watson.
Watson's dingling matters.
It does. It does. It matters to us. It matters to us that it finds a good home. So help us out by helping yourself out. Go to the website, click on the giveaway, fill out your information. We're going to draw it at the end of this month, and whoever wins gets a signed Watson Dingaling.
Any restrictions on who wins that dingling?
We haven't put any. You just got to enter in the contest. I'm just saying. Watson could win the Dingaling if he wanted to. I didn't.
What is he gonna do with this dingling?
That's the point. He can't use it anyway.
Poor Watson's dingling.
Poor Watson. Shyboy.ia over on the Twitters. If Stephen Airy's wife leaves him alone, who would refresh his APR coffee during the show? That's funny because I use a giant cup so she doesn't have to.
Always thinking of the wife.
That's right. I'm making sure she doesn't have to do that. She doesn't have to serve me. If she wants to, I'm more than happy to accept that service.
Especially in the sandwich department.
Oh, especially in the sandwich department. Yeah. And in other things. But nonetheless, I don't force her to get me coffee during the show. That would be terrible. Now, I have asked her to get me other things during the show, but never coffee, because I have a big, giant mug of it right here that'll at least last me an hour. Maybe. Sometimes. But I digress. Yeah. That's right. Go to doashow.com, doashow.com. Make sure also to check out all the shows on the Mojo 50 network, mojo50.com. There are a lot of them. It is your free speech. This is where it starts. This is where it begins. This is where you can have your voice and we create ours. This is Mojo 50. All right, so there's a petition out there to change the name of Columbus, Ohio.
Who didn't see that coming?
I mean, I wouldn't have if I didn't pay attention to things, but yeah. So they don't want it to be Columbus anymore. No more Columbus, Ohio. No. Instead, they're going to change the name to Flavortown in order to erase Christopher Columbus's history and honor their favorite host, Guy Fieri.
Flavortown?
Flavortown. Yes.
America. I left for one weekend.
You left?
Yeah. I felt like I left.
You thought you had?
Yeah. What the crap, America?
Mm-hmm.
First off, go watch Michael Knowles in his takeoff of the real history of Christopher Columbus, please.
It's an amazing story, by the way.
Yeah, please. Here's also a newsflash for the rest of America.
Uh-huh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're all flawed individuals. We all have good things, bad things about us.
No.
Oh, that's right. We always are in lockstep with the woke warriors. How could we ever?
I am the wokest of woke.
Clearly. It's glasses.
It's the glasses, right. I was woke before woke was woke. Yes. Yes. Kevin Hutchison over the MeWe. I hope they were going to honor the rapper Flava Flav. But that's not their hometown hero. Guy Fieri is. That's right. The bleached blonde, ice-pierced hair. Guy Fieri.
Why not just frosted tips?
No, it's not frosted tips anymore, bud.
Well, yeah, clearly not anymore.
That's now old age that he's decided to he'd take the gray and make it white.
Clearly now.
Those tips went from frosted to frozen, bud. They're a little bit more snowy.
Why not just name it Guy, Ohio?
Because where are you going? Guy.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Hey, guy.
Hey, guy.
I don't think
The guy Blue Jackets.
that's right. The guy Blue Jackets. No, the Flavortown Blue Jackets. No,
Guy
actually,
crew.
they can't be the Blue Jackets anymore. You understand, like, everything has to change when you change a name like that. You change it to Flavortown. What's the name of the mascot? Well, it's no longer Flavortown. It's no longer like the Blue Jackets or whatever else. It has to be something associated with Flavortown.
Right.
So what is it?
Diners, drive-ins, and dives.
The Triple D's? Like, what are
Triple
they? What are they? What is this? You know, Flavortown. These are the Triple D's. It's kind of like the Mighty Ducks, but they're bigger. Sorry, that's a bad joke.
Dang it.
That's what it is. But nonetheless, yeah, there's a petition on change.org to change to Columbus as he says Columbus is an amazing city, but one whose name is tarnished by the name itself. Its namesake, Christopher Columbus, is in the bad place because of all of his raping and slavery and genocide. That's not exactly a proud legacy. Why not rename the city Flavortown? The new name is twofold. For one, it honors Central Ohio's proud heritage as a culinary crossroads, and and one of the nation's largest test markets for food industry. Second, chef celebrity Guy Fieri, born in Columbus, so naming the city in his honor, in honor of him. He's such a good dude, really. Should be superior to its current nomenclature.
Columbus.
Columbus.
Come here.
Right? Columbus, Ohio.
I-
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I mean, this whole past week was just absolutely, utterly insane.
Yeah.
From a history perspective. Like,
Right.
just
Like-
nuts with all this stuff.
Well, think about this. Okay, from a history perspective. The New York City Police Department disbands an anti-crime unit.
Yes.
It gets rid of its anti-crime unit. Or units. Plural. What happens after that happens? Take a guess. What happens after you get rid of the crime units?
Ooh, teacher.
Andrew Coppins in the back.
Went up. Crime went up.
Andrew Coppins gets a gold star for the day, folks. The New York Police Department announced last week that it started to disband its controversial anti-crime unit, impacting about 600 NYPD officers who patrolled in plain clothes. The move was applauded by those who seeked immediate police reform in the wake of the tragedy of George Floyd and blah, 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 blah. Quote, this seismic shift in the current culture of the NYPD and how the NYPD polices this great city. It will be felt immediately in the communities that we protect. That was from the New York Police Department commissioner.
Oh, it was felt immediately.
Yeah, I know. That was from the commissioner, Dermot Fauché. Dermot Fauché. It's actually Dermot F. Shea, but Dermot Fauché. Unfortunately, the for New Yorkers, the impact of the reform was immediate, but it wasn't positive. Yeah, according to the New York Post, shootings in the city surged after the NYPD disbanded its plainclothes unit. In fact, between Monday, the day that Shea made his announcement, and Saturday, there had been 28 shooting incidences and 38 victims.
Hey, man, I would love to see that.
Right?
What you talking about, homie?
I know, just 28 and 38? That's nothing, right?
That's just a Saturday night here in Chicago.
Yeah, that was at least 5 deaths.
What?
Yeah, 5 deaths, 38 injured, 28 shootings. By comparison, there were only about 12 shootings the entire week during the same time period last year. Quote, this is what politicians wanted. No bail, Nobody in Rikers. Cops not arresting anyone, a law enforcement officer told the Post. Quote, all these things equal people walking around on the streets with guns shooting each other. Yeah, because the guns are illegal anyway. You can't have a gun in New York.
Criminals don't follow the law.
Right. If criminals followed the law, they wouldn't be criminals. Now, would they?
No, and then we could just go back to my hometown here in Chicago.
Yes.
Well, what I call home now.
Home now.
Not my hometown.
But your current home now.
Yes. Because the police commissioner here, David Brown,
right,
who was the police commissioner of Dallas way back during the big cop assassination that happened there. But that's neither here nor there. Guess what he said today? It's almost like the bail reform is allowing criminals to get back out on the street and continue shooting each other. It is almost like it's counterintuitive.
What?
I know. It's almost like we could have all seen this coming.
I mean, we could, but that's the point. We got out of the way.
True. In a literal sense, yeah. Yep.
However, we didn't want a blue dress moment here. That's not what we're looking for.
Right. And who would have thought that criminals who have been convicted of robbery, assault, armed robbery, are charged with, murder and rape.
Yeah.
They would figure out ways to, get around the home monitoring systems. Who would have thought that?
I mean, like, when you take away half the police officers, take away 600 police officers, all plainclothes that, stop people from doing stupid things, they suddenly start doing stupid things.
Yep. It's almost like defunding the police department with no plan to replace it.
Right, and no real availability to actually police for crime.
Is a bad thing.
Yeah. I think so. I mean, it drives home the idea behind this other story, a 911 caller. Driving around, Columbus, Ohio. Funny enough. Driving around Flavortown. Yeah. So there's a person driving around Flavortown. They called 911 last week because there was protesters. The protesters decided to surround their car. You see, I want to stop here and just make sure. In North Carolina, the law is if there are people on the road, you must slow down to a speed in which it won't kill them if you hit them. Basically, if you slow down to a point to where you're just kind of crawling in a vehicle, you just let your foot off the gas and just let it roll in drive, that like 5 to 6 miles an hour that happens that way, you can just keep going.
What?
In North Carolina, you can just keep going. If somebody's in the middle of the road, blocking the intersection, blocking I-95, you can keep going because they're not supposed to be in the road. Thing. Yeah, they're not supposed to be in the road. They are impeding your ability to live your life. Thus, you can keep going. Not at the same speed, not with the intent to kill.
So you're telling me you can't rev the engine and just run into them?
Right. You can't rev the engine and just run into them. But what you can do is you can just casually keep moving forward.
Maybe you put it in neutral and take the foot off the gas?
No. Don't put it in neutral because then they'll push back.
Oh, yeah, good point.
You put your car in drive. You hit the gas just a little bit. Just tap the gas so it starts moving. And just let it keep moving. Yep, just let it keep moving.
Fair enough.
And if they don't get out of the way, they will get out of the way.
Yeah, it's almost like people don't like being hit by cars.
Right. And they don't like being run over. And they don't like having to accidentally roll up on top of a car because they're getting their feet swept out from underneath them. They don't like getting hurt in general. And as long as your intent is just to keep moving forward and it's not to actually intend. You don't have any intention to hurt them. You just want to get out of the way. You're fine.
Interesting.
Yeah, here in North Carolina, that's perfectly legal.
Yeah, I doubt that's legal here in Chicago, but
Well, I wouldn't push it. In fact, if somebody was standing in the road in Chicago right now, I'd keep going at the same speed.
yeah, that's pretty true. I'm
I
pretty
wouldn't-
sure.
I wouldn't be stopping unless there's a stop sign and a crosswalk.
Yep.
And even then, sometimes in Chicago, especially downtown Chicago, those stop signs are hidden and the crosswalks really don't show up very well.
Yeah, that's very true.
This is very true. I've been there. I've driven there. It's scary.
Oh, we'll take you to Austin on a Saturday night, and we'll show you scary.
No, keep Austin weird. But just
No, the neighborhood here in Chicago.
Oh, that Austin. No, I'm not going. Yeah, so here's how it went. A male caller called 911, said, I'm being threatened. I want the police here now. They're surrounding my car. They're blocking traffic. The police need to protect me. Another man told 911 that that motorcyclists were, quote, popping wheelies, and that looked like nothing like a protest. But the 911 dispatcher, who took the aforementioned man's call, was heard on the audio saying that the Democratic Mayor Andrew Ginther gave authorities some pretty explicit instructions about the protests. Quote, we were told by the mayor to stand down, so the mayor has given them full reins of the street.
Brick wall.
That's it. Smacking your head against the brick wall. Caller replied, you've got to be kidding me. Dispatcher, nope. We were told to stand down.
I shouldn't laugh, but that is the most frank and honest conversation you're ever going to have with a 911 operator.
Right. Hey, I need police help. Sorry, we can't do anything.
What do you mean? Nope.
Nope. Just can't. Sorry.
What part of the nope did you not understand?
The
no
in
or the
The N-O or the P-E? I know the silent E. It is a ninja. So, sometimes. That's a child's joke from Electric Company, and I'm sorry for that. And hopefully everybody understands. I do have children, so.
Dang electric company.
Yeah. CPD officers said that they have not been asked to stand down to protest, the Post added. No direction from the Mayor Ginther was given. Ginther was given to the Chief Thomas Quinlan over the last 3 days, and would have prevented the police officers from intervening in any situation where the car or the person was being attacked, which means that the person on the 911 call lied. The dispatcher lied.
Wow. So
Yeah. Uh-huh.
did the journalist bother to do any other digging into this story, or?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like they went and they contacted the Columbus Police Department, denied it, said nope, we didn't get a stand down order. None of this actually happened, and none of this was called upon. The mayor's office said that there was no executive order for the police to stand down, and said the Ginther is open to recommendations for the Fraternal Order Police to address the community concerns.
So did the journalist do any digging into whom this dispatcher was?
No.
Because I've got a working theory here. Help me out.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'm really good at being a soundboard. Go ahead.
Okay. So my working theory is that this person may have had non-Caucasian persuasions to her.
Really?
Or him.
Really?
And they may have sympathies with the protesters.
Maybe. Okay. All right.
And
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And therefore they were going to make sure that the protesters had free reign. And
okay. Hold on. Before you go there. Hold on. What if The dispatcher was the only one that was being honest.
Nah.
What if Ginther and his office, who obviously pushed the blame aside to the FOP, what if Ginther actually did put that order out secretly? Just it's a hush-hush issue. Hey, if anybody calls about the protest, don't know. We're not doing anything. Shh. Stand down. Nothing's going to happen.
Good. Be good.
That's right. Yeah. Good boy. Yeah. Good boy. Yeah. Sit. Stay. And no. So
stand down.
That's right. Stand down. Stay. What if that actually happened? And this guy, this dispatcher was the only honest broker about it.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. But here's the problem.
Okay, sure. Mm-hmm.
That's the job of a journalist to figure that out.
Right. I understand that. I get you. I'm right there with you. Just completely there. But...
And it's almost like the journalist is not an actual journalist.
Oh, but their title is journalist, so they have to be a real one.
Yeah, about that. I've been a journalist before. You forget these.
Oh, there were actual journalists before this?
Not a long while, my friend. Not in a long while.
So it has been a while. All right, so that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You know, who knows what a journalist actually is nowadays?
It's been a couple of decades.
I would propose to you, sir, that a journalist is a propagandist.
Well, if you're going to propose, first off, you got to get on your knees.
Well, no, I'm not proposing.
Oh, dang it.
The journalists are proposing. They're propagandizing. They're not just proposing, they're propagandizing. They're sold out, as it were.
Yeah, and I would argue that, you know, and I've said this on my show quite a bit, is that I am perfectly okay with them being left or being right.
Yeah, sure.
I'm perfectly okay with it.
As long as you're open about the bias. Doing. Yeah. You got to be open. New York
Times, just, hey, all the news that's left to print or whatever you want to put out there. You know, the Daily Wire, everybody knows that is a right-leaning organization.
Correct.
I am perfectly okay with, like, funneling that information through, okay, I know that is their perspective.
So
the problem is when you try to tell me that it's not that perspective and that it's straight journalism, if I can't decipher that, the average person who doesn't pay attention like you and I do will never be able to do that. So let's label it. Yeah. I'm left, you're right. Or I'm right, you're left. I'm libertarian. This is my bent because we all have biases.
Right. We do all have biases. And that's kind of the point is even a quote unquote journalist has a bias. And their bias is pronounced in what they look at, what they see, and how they see it. Even if they say that they're looking just at the facts, they're looking at the facts through a lens of their own understanding.
Yep.
They're not looking at they're not, it's never objective. Nothing is ever objective other than math.
What about theoretical math?
No, that's not real.
It's theoretical. You're right.
That's exactly real math.
So here's the deal, right? When it comes to this entire thing, this is a great example of how journalism is so broken in America, because a real journalist would have dug just that one step further,
that little extra step. We wouldn't have had to have this conversation at all. All we would have had to do is say, like, oh, look, they found out that the person was biased. Or, oh, look, this person was like, no, here's the stand-down order right here. I got it in paper in black and white. Anyway, folks, Andrew Coppins, Critical Thinking, over on the weekends. get on his show on the Mojo 50 Network. This is Defenders Live. Let's get to those numbers.
Good evening, Mojo 50. Look around, and here with the bell count grade for the day. Monday, June 22nd, 2020. Today we had 3 missed innuendo bells, 33 actual bells, 10 cigars, and 1 trigger for Izzo and CNN, giving us a C for the day. Peace out, boys. We'll see you tomorrow.
We got a C for the day. That sounds good. Talk to you later, guys.
Bravo! I loved that. Oh, it was great. Well, it was pretty good. Well, it wasn't bad. Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good. It could have been a lot better.